we got a lot to go over here in a short period of time. First off, trust you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
All right, thank you.
So, before we dive into what we've got today, Clayton, is there anything specific that you have that you want to cover?
Nope, I don't think so.
All right. So here's a quick review of the 90-day goals, being able to read employees and customers, written estimates, being a little more organized, and how to get my employees to be the most efficient. All right. So you get a chance to look over the personality mastery stuff that we sent over.
Yeah, I did a little bit,
Okay.
uh, but not. I mean, yeah, I definitely looked over it, but it wasn't
Yeah, no worries.
printed it off, and that's
Okay. So do you keep things, you say you wanted to be more organized. Are you kind of an organized person, but you like even more organization?
no, not just the most organized. No,
Okay.
definitely not.
All right. And so with me, I would say I'm a very organized person as it relates to information and data. So there's a lot of information. I like to keep all my information organized. So what you might want to do is you might want to get a three-ring binder. And so you can put, the things we send over, like the clear communication, the referrals, the personality masteries, and now the action vision plan. When you print that out, you can maybe hole punch it or put it in slip sheets. So you have all of your action vision things. So we can reference those and making sure you're getting the most value from each of those.
Okay.
The action vision, which is the colored plan, did you get that and get a chance to print that off or not yet?
Yeah, yep, I did, but it's almost too small for me to read it if I print it off.
Yep. So, and that's okay. We'll be getting you out probably be 2, 3 weeks. Um, but we're working on getting a copier that will go ahead and print off 11 by 17.
Okay.
So I think that we'll be able to blow that up for you and make that really big.
Okay.
So, so the Action Vision plan, that's the first draft of your 12-month plan. So what we'll do is once a month, we'll go through and we will score those 24 items. When we say score them, it's really simple. It takes 3 minutes to do. And so um, it's did you complete an action? Did you not do any work on the action? Or did you work on it?
Okay.
So it's those three things. Did you work on it? Did you complete it? Did you not do anything? We'll probably do what's called a benchmark scoring today, and we'll go ahead and read through them. Not explain all of them today in detail, but we'll take on each coaching session, we'll probably take a couple of them and kind of go into details on what they mean.
Okay.
So and then we'll score that every month. And so that's when we were talking to you originally about the Action Vision plan. On average, people will see a 30 to 35% increase in work productivity within 30 to 60 days. We have over 95% of people who start it that'll follow through, but the accuracy is what's most amazing about it. Some are more, some are less, but on average, if you do 90% of your plan, you'll get 94% of results. If you do 50% of the plan, you'll get 54% results. So it's literally a scientific, like every month we'll measure what percentage of the plan you're doing. So
Okay.
that's something that's the personality masteries, that'll probably feel really good. Like you'll feel good about what you're making progress on, how you're learning your employees. That'll be fun, and you'll feel a quick jolt of success on that. The action vision is more like, so the personality masteries is more like fishing, going out and fishing. The action vision is more like farming. That's what's going to change your business, the systems, the tools, all of those things. That's going to be what's going to change it over time. Make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Questions on that?
No, don't think so.
Okay. So, um, on the uh, on the Action Vision plan, are you able to see that? Not read it, but are you able to see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 1-1, the 3.5 million, that's the result. We don't have control over that because we don't have control over results. But if we do the right actions in the right way over the right period of time, we're going to get a predictable result. So your 1-1, you don't have control over that, but 1-2 through 1-25, you do have control over those actions.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just read those to you, and then we'll just say, before you started Action Vision, did you complete these things on a regular basis? Did you work on them, or did you not do anything, or you don't even know what they mean? So some of these things you won't even know what they mean, which is okay.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep.
All right. 1-2, leadership, clone Clayton, develop team members to become stronger, better, and more effective employees. So you've been working on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Marla will go ahead and have that one as a worked on 1-2.
Okay.
1-3, and there's little symbols that we'll go ahead and print out and show you and stuff. So there's little symbols. If you complete an action, it's a big check in the box for the month. If you don't complete it but you work on it, it's a little check in the little box. And then if you don't do anything on it, it's an X in the little box. So what you'll see is over the months, you're going to see patterns of strengths and weaknesses in your action vision. And
Okay.
the goal is each quarter to have systems in place to where the big checks come in specific areas and they happen without you actually having to do all the work.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. 1-3, systems to train team members, relieve more work from Clayton to free him up for additional leadership and management roles. Would you say you've been working on that or not so much?
Well, I've been doing the weekly meetings with the
Got it.
team leaders and monthly with everybody.
Cool. And how long have you been
Yeah.
doing that?
I just started that the week, probably the 1st of November.
Gotcha. Okay. So what we'll
So,
do is we'll go ahead and say worked on that. 1-3, Marla is another worked on. 1-4, build systems for highly profitable employees, apply 5 time management freedom fighters based on personalities and data. Obviously, that's new to you, so we haven't done any work on that. Marla, 1-4 is no work on. 1-5 is create mission, vision, and overall goals for the company. Have you done any of those types of things, Clayton?
nope, not, I mean, I guess what exactly does that mean?
So often a mission statement is going to be what we stand for. This is what we stand for. A vision statement is where we want to go. So this is where we want to head in. So kind of the character of the company is our mission. The vision for our company is where we're headed. And then goals are specific things that help us to move towards our vision while accomplishing our mission.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Do you have a mission statement or a vision statement yet?
I mean, I guess for me, the mission, I want to do a good quality job for a reasonable price is
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
what
Perfect.
I've always wanted to do.
Gotcha. So on 1-5, Marla, we'll put no work done. So Clayton's done it in his mind. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start to, what we want to do is we want to get the input from the employees. What do they think about it? So they have buy-in. So they're not looking at this as if it's Clayton's company, but they're looking at it as if it's their own company.
Okay. Yeah.
So when I was in when I was in high school, I worked at two McDonald's. I worked at a lot of places. I was a pretty industrious young man. And so one was a franchise owned McDonald and one was independently owned McDonald. They were two very different run McDonald's. It was very educational for me. When I went and started, so I'm like 15 years old, when I started working at McDonald's, I visualized that I was the owner of that company. I was the owner of that location. And so
Okay.
every place I worked in high school, I did really well. The owners loved me. I advanced, made more money, got more responsibility. I mean, the owners of all of the companies I've ever worked for, they love working with. They love me working for them. And the reason, my secret was pretty simple. I just thought like I was the business owner. I said, well, if I'm the business owner, how would I work? How would I think? What would I do? So that I think
Yeah.
I think that's a little unusual for maybe a 14-year-old. I don't know a lot of 14-year-olds that have that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
what we want to do is we want to build that into a system. 1-6 marketing. Have you created testimonies from current employees and clients and used those to market your business in any way?
Nope. I have not.
Okay. So that's a
I mean, not
testimony.
other than word of mouth. That's
Yep. Gotcha. So 1-6, Marla, is no work done. You get referrals now, correct?
yeah, from my the contractors I do. Yeah.
Yep. And so 1-7, Marla, is a work done. So get referral system in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the what's happening casually, naturally here, and we're going to put that into a system over time. So it's going to be more intentional. And when we're more intentional in doing things, that's going to grow the business because
Okay.
there's a system in place. 1-8 is generate a steady flow of new leads from marketing. Michiana Showcase, the People's Exchange. So that's a worked on too, Marlo, 1-8. And we'll put some systems in place to find out what's the most effective to do and how do you do it. So it's where you place your ad, how you place your ad, what your ad says, those types of things. 1
Okay.
9 is pre-sales, grow quantity of prospects. So that's a worked on too, Marla, 1-9. And we'll put more systems in place. 1-10 is improve quality of prospects. So to maximize your business, your sale, you want a perfect blend between quantity and quality of, well, everything, prospects all the way to employees. So if you have high quality with low quantity, it's hard to stay in business. If you have high
Yeah.
quantity without quality, that's also hard to stay in business. So there's constant tension between quality and quantity. So this helps us put some systems in place to go ahead and help balance those things out for both of them. So 1-10, Marla, is worked on. 1-11, ask key questions, use CRM. So a CRM, I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's called a customer relationship management system.
I
Okay.
haven't heard of that.
Yeah. So it's called a customer relationship management system. By and large, whenever it's referred to, it's always referred to as technology, database. But before, 30 years ago, before technology was really out there a lot, I had a CRM system. It had nothing to do with technology. So I had 3x5 cards and I had 3 ring binders and I tracked certain types of things. So a CRM system doesn't have to be computer technology. It can be a manual system. So
Okay.
one dash 11, Marla, is going to be worked on. So Clayton, do you have a process where you're asking questions and you organize data and you put it into columns or a ledger, or do you have any of those processes? Are those all done in your head, or do you have any manual processes that you use?
Those are all done in my head. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any manual
Gotcha.
things going. No.
Okay. So, have we gone? I don't know if we've gone over the four. I think we might have the four levels of learning: unconscious incompetence, we're stupid, don't know it; conscious competence, we're stupid, we know it; conscious competence, we're smart, we're doing well, we know it; and then unconscious competence, we're brilliant, we don't even know it.
Can't remember anything of that.
Okay, so there's four quadrants. So you're moving from a conscious competence to a unconscious competence. Unconscious competence is where it's all reflex. You get so good at what you do, you just do it based on reflex. You don't even think about it, you just do it. It's the highest form of personal productivity there is. It's a great place for you to be personally in doing your work, but
Okay.
it's not a good place for you to be if you're training other people or you're building systems.
Yeah, I can see that because I know out on the job there's things I do and I don't realize the others don't know why it's done like that or how it's done, and
Right?
I just uh
So you're at an unconscious competence level. You're like, and you might be thinking, how can they not know this? Like,
well, I
you know,
have already thought that.
yeah, 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 no, I get it. Trust me, I do. And so it's like, how can you not know them? And they don't. And so what we want to do is we want ActionVision, and the coaching and the systems will help to bring your unconscious competence, the things that you're so good at, you don't even know you're good at, and bring those down a level to a conscious competence so you can transfer that knowledge to other people.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, Marla, Mary Jo, Ginger Ann, Elaine, they're all there to assist you. And so they might focus in, like Marla may take this as one of the things that she connects with you and maybe, spends 10, 15 minutes a week with you on the phone or something. And she'll just ask you questions. It's just an example. She might ask you questions to draw out your unconscious competence.
Okay.
And then once we draw it out of you, then we can put it into a system that can be trained.
Okay.
1-12 is present solutions, right target, right solution, right timing. So this is all being done on a subconscious level too. It's your unconscious, you're doing it. One of the hardest things, 1-12 is one of the hardest things to pull out of an owner because it's absolutely like it's an artist of what they do. So 1-12, Marla, would be worked on. 1-13 is develop a system to generate 3 to 9 referrals from satisfied clients and referrals. I would say that's worked on. 1-14, servicing client system. So you're obviously servicing your clients um, where employees take tasks to completion, but we're talking about a system here. So there's no work done on this yet. It's all kind of happening subconsciously. We'll put that into a system. So 1-14, Marla, is no work done. 1-15 is going to be um, servicing, generate X number of referrals, raving fan experience. So no work done on that one yet. 1-16, sorry, 1-16 is no work done on that one yet. 1-17 is work to learn personalities. We're just starting to do that, so no work done on that.
Okay, now according to mine, that was a 1-16 is what you just said.
Work on team personalities.
Yeah, mine shows a 1-16 on that.
Okay.
But
Uh,
it doesn't matter. I mean, whatever.
yeah,
Even
so we might be
yeah,
off by one. So we'll get it all aligned.
okay.
We'll get it all aligned again, first draft of this, but we'll get it all aligned. Mine is 1-18, which may be 1-17 for you, is client for life, provide a raving fan experience. And so we haven't put a system in place. So Marla, 1-18 would be no work done. 1-19 would be business referral partnerships, help clients, contractors build their own boss system. We haven't done anything on that one yet, Marla. So 1-19 is no work done. 1-20 is developing a better scheduling system. So there's some work been done on that. So that would be 1-20 would be a work done. 1-21, build organization system to help get shop organized and ready for the new shop. So let's say no work done on that one yet. 1-22, uh, one date night per week with Mary and have an amazing marriage. Do you do any date nights now consistently, Clayton, or not?
Nope, not
And how old
yeah.
are your
I mean,
children?
the oldest is 18.
Okay, and the youngest?
One.
Okay, gotcha. And would your wife appreciate a regular date night, or is that not something she would enjoy?
You mean just me and her,
Probably.
or probably not, because we want to be with the children too. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
So what you're looking for is ask Mary, say, honey, what would be one suggestion on what we could do to improve our marriage in your mind?
okay.
And so we want to put that one in there so she's a part of your action vision plan.
Okay.
And so 1-23 is help Clayton spend time with his kids, playing games, engaging in meaningful activities, help them find their passions. So again, you're working on that. So 1-22 is worked on, Marla. 1-23 is worked on. And then 1-24 is time management, tips to powerful time management based on personality styles. This is new, so that would be no work done on that. So that's what it is. And so we'll go through and kind of tweak some of these things and put scoring in. And next time we get together, we'll kind of show you what that looks like.
Okay.
All right. On the personalities, the DNA for people, do you have that document there with you or not?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
So if you go to page 4, that's the survey that you want to just give to anybody. It could be your kids, it could be employees, friends, family, whatever you want. And it's pretty simple. You just say, which of these 4 shapes would you just, the way I set it up is I say, you could say, hey, I'm in a business coaching, or I've got a friend, or I ran across this test, whatever sets it up properly. You just say, I'm doing this kind of an experiment or whatever. Here's a fun thing. Which of these 4 shapes would you tend to like the most? A cube, a pyramid, a wavy line, or a ball? A cube, a pyramid, a wavy line, or a ball? So then they tell you a cube, and then you say, and next a pyramid, wavy line, or ball. They say a wavy line, you say, and next a pyramid or a ball. So you get them to give you the first 3, and that gives you the fourth one.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the second question is, which of these 4 things would cause you the most frustration in any area of your life? Things being out of order, out of control, boring or not fun, or conflict with others. Again, out of order, out of control, boring or not fun, or conflict with others. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Once you get those, then on page 5, you'll see how you can take them from this kind of the square and bring them into where there's just a line, like it's 24, 31, 31, 24.
Okay.
And so if you ever give us these numbers in this order, and it kind of explains if you give us these numbers, we will know what that person's personality is, and we can coach you on how to help them.
Okay. Yeah.
Then what we'll do is on section 2, learning about others, you'll see how you can you could do family or friends or kids or whatever. And then page 7, you could do it for all your employees. So you list their names, their position, and then you just put the numbers in there. And again, we can show you how to do it. But if you just get, which they choose first, second, third, and fourth, first, second, third, and fourth, once you see these, we will then be able to map them out on a grid for you. And you'll start to be able to understand very quickly how to help them best.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Questions on that?
Not really, except now the geo, that's the cube, pyramid, ball, or wavy line. That's
Correct. It's
okay.
called the
Yeah.
geometric psychology test. So the GO for short. So yeah, that's the different
Yeah.
shapes. Yep.
Okay. All right. That, I think I get that. So
Okay. Good. And so once we start getting that data back, then we'll start to go ahead and coach you on how to see the differences between the different personalities, and then how you
yeah.
can respond to them, coach them. With new employees, we can tell you where their strengths are, weaknesses are, how you'll get along with them, how you won't get along with them. We'll be able to really see into the future for you and say, this is what this employee is going to be. So you have an idea of how to best, what's called, onboard them, bring them into your company.
Okay. Yeah.
So over the next 2 to 4 weeks, we've got 4 things. We've got the clear communication, white paper, and that connects back into personalities. We've got the referral, the box coaching for the referral. And then we've got the personality masteries, and we've got the action vision. There's good overwhelm, Clayton, and bad overwhelm. Good overwhelm is you're like, man, I'm overwhelmed. I'm so excited. Bad
Yeah,
overwhelm
that
is bad
what's that?
overwhelm is, man, I'm so overwhelmed. I want to quit. Like I can't keep up with everything.
Yeah. Uh, well, it does look like a big chore for right now, especially with what we got going.
Yeah.
So,
And a lot of this stuff, like if you do very little, if you just do even 15, 20 minutes of work between now and next week, you don't have to put a lot of time in. You just do
okay.
you do 5 or 10 minutes a day, or you do a couple times a week. So it's not something that's really a lot of time. It's just, it can feel like it because you're not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But once you go ahead and the only way to become more comfortable is to do a little bit here, a little bit there, and that will help you.
Okay. Yeah.
And then once you start doing this, this is going to start saving you time
Okay.
because you'll be more efficient in your communication. You'll be more understanding of people. People will become more productive. So you invest a little time in the short term to save a lot of time over the long term.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep. It does.
So there's obviously a lot more material that we have. So if you ever feel like you're underwhelmed and you want more material, we've got more. We just don't want to, we want to make sure that you're getting everything you need to get out of what we've got for you, and then we'll give you more.
Okay. Well,
Anything
it
else
look.
we can do, sir?
I think that's it for now.
All right. Well, you guys
You
have a
bet.
wonderful Thanksgiving.
You too.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that's such an unusual client, shows right up on time. The guy is a machine. And so this is where me being organized, I have to be equally. If I'm a minute late, if I don't seem like I know what I'm doing, if I don't have, so in 30 minutes, I went over his 90-day goals. I did a full scoring, a benchmark scoring, went through the personalities. Um, so I feel that I have a good grasp of this client. Like I'm like, okay, I understand how I'm going to help him. Questions?
No.
So learning, how do you jump in? How do you learn to insert yourself? And that's one of the hardest things as a woman to do. Men too, but especially women. It's easier to kind of it's easier to sit behind the scenes and kind of support from behind. There's nothing wrong with that. That's equally important. But again, where you're going to make a lot more money is getting out in front. And so this recording, like this podcast, we've been recording these podcasts, but I don't know if they've been getting processed. And so should they, so you both may be the last people that I train in this. So it'd probably be good to document this, like where is it going? Like where does it go? And so there's examples where people could go in and see, hey, how does Mark do the first one? And how does he do the second? And how does he, how it's like a tree with a root structure. How does he start building in connection and rapport and trust and favor?
Mhm.
Questions?
Where are you thinking that these podcasts should go?
They're going to go in the number 3 ActionVision, sales in all areas. So they should go there, and then in the servicing side. So they go down ActionVision servicing. And then here's the first coaching session. And then here's the first month of coaching session. So here's the first month of coaching sessions. And so, so there might be, this would be a good one. So, week 1, we have that. So week 2 and week 3 and week 4. Now the challenge is every client's different, but you see patterns, you start to see flow. So the driver personality can sense when things are getting out of control. So the first coaching or second one, I wasn't feeling in control. That's really important to be in control, because if you're not, they will, and that's not healthy for anybody, because we're the ones that know what we're doing. What this does is it helps me be in control,
Mm-hmm.
to understand, okay, this is where we're going, this is what we have. If he's sensing I'm out of control, that's not going to be good, because he'll slide in, and that's not going to be good. So do we go ahead? Do we go ahead and so do we go ahead and stop by his office? If he's local, we might, and might give him, once we get the color copier, we might go ahead and then have, print out some for his employees, so he doesn't have to ask. He just gives it to them. You could feel and sense there's a little tension there, like he's feeling like he's got to put in a lot of time. And I told people, you don't have to put in a lot of time, and you really don't. Just a little bit of time consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So not having access, the Amish not having access to technology makes coaching a lot harder. Makes them getting a lot out of coaching a lot harder. Me, I'm very comfortable with it, because the first 15 years of Synergy, we didn't have, any of the technology. We had the same technology that we have, that we're working with the Amish. And I did it for 15 years. So I'm very comfortable with this. But we still want them to get the most value out of it. Any other questions, ladies?
I don't have any.
So what I was doing with the manually, is that called benchmarking or scoring?
We did benchmark scoring. So then what you would do is you would go in, and some of these, when we're going through, I might not have, um, so there's some of these that are duplicates. So do we want to skinny this up? Maybe. So there's 3 or 4 asking for referrals. It's not wrong to have that, but if it's the same action, do we really want it? And so what you would do is you'd go in. Do you know how to score it yet?
No, I don't.
Okay. So somebody would show you how to score it. You'd go in and do a benchmark scoring. Oh, what I didn't get, and we might have in the notes, we might not. We need to get what his average sales are for the last year, monthly. Average expenses are for the last year, monthly. We need to get, number of new leads that monthly. What's the average number of new clients monthly? What's the average? So we need to get those too, and I missed getting those. You both learning how to go ahead and, like, on webinars, on podcasts, learning how to participate, how to engage. It's going to be important, really important. Learning how to go ahead and, like at the coffee connection, where you talk about your role. So you just get up or keep seated down, whatever you do, and you talk about my role as the founder. This is what I've read. This is what I've learned in the last month. So learning how to have confidence speaking publicly, you don't have to be a professional speaker, but your confidence is everything. Well, it's actually not. How you how you like you fake it till you make it. So how do you present yourself as being confident even if you're nervouser than all get out? So the more experience you have in communicating and talking, and so Marla, for you, it's just like, getting in front of, students and you got 20 kids, it's easier to be in a group of 20 adults than 20 kids. Kids are brutal. You might say, is it
I
Mark?
would disagree.
Right. See, I knew you would. See, I knew you would. Isn't that weird on how well I know you?
Sure.
So, yeah. So you've got the experience, you just want to tap into it. So the first time you spoke in front of the 20 kids and did your first lesson, were you pretty nervous?
Yeah.
Oh, terrifying. And then all of a sudden you did it more and more, and you're like, this isn't really nearly as bad. The adults are easier than the kids because the adults are more insecure than the kids are.
The adults judge more.
Um, like I said, they're more insecure, right? Yeah. Why do adults judge? Because they're insecure. So they're really revealing far more about themselves than they are the presenter or whatever. So as you learn these different things, the more experience you can get with communicating, the more opportunities, like every opportunity you get to communicate, you want to do that. So Norman, when he was at you know, he didn't look like he was nervous. Kenny, he looked like he was nervous, which was okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Norman did not, because Norman's got up in front of hundreds of, campers and spoke. And so he was nervous though when he first started. And you just learn to either control the nervousness or push through the nervousness. It's not that big a deal. So congratulations, Marla. Good work. You're awesome, girl.